At what point did you say, wait a minute, I can do that, I want to do that?
I followed comedy, but I didn't think I could do that, so I don't really have that story. But I thought that it was for people that were special someplace else. And
Someplace else?
yeah,
Like
in the universe, floating around.
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't understand how people walked out on a stage and had a theater
Right.
sold out, and they got to do comedy.
Right.
I didn't know about open mics, and so I didn't even. It seemed not a possibility.
Magic.
Yeah. And
But
then
at some point you weren't kidnapped, right? At some point you...
I was kidnapped, but that's for another time. No, I just had moved to Los Angeles. My best friend from when I was little, we followed each other around the country together, and she had hopes and dreams, and I followed her. And when I got to Los Angeles, there were open mics, and I spent the first 2 weeks of my life in Los Angeles going to open mics, and at that point I was like, I feel like I could do this, and so I tried. But I never moved to Los Angeles to be a comedian or anything.
Open mics were such a brutal part of the process. And they're so amazing, because back then there was no... Now, like, comics produce shows, so there's a lot of places that people can do comedy. Like, if they just get a place a bar or wherever. But back then, you had to go to the club to do the open mic. There was a place, there was a context to it all. And man, some of those open mics were just so brutal, and it was so terrifying, just because all you're doing is sitting around for an entire week or a month thinking about 4 minutes. Like, you're going to get up there, right, and do that 6 minutes, and it's like all you think about. And then you go up and there's 9 people there. And you've been waiting a month.
The first time I did an open mic, I had been so used to talking to myself in my apartment in the mirror that when I was actually on stage and there was a laugh, I was startled. I had not accounted for laughter. And I still have video of me in my apartment using a flashlight, and I'd set up the camera to film myself talking into a flashlight into a mirror. And I will release those tapes one day.
What? Was it on?
It was not on.
Oh, because that would give it a whole different effect.
Hello, is
Hello?
this thing on?
So Fred, talk about going in front of an audience for the first time. What was that?
Well, when I first saw Tig, we signed her to ICM on the spot. No, I'm sorry.
I am with ICM.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good guess.
Yeah, it was...
I didn't do stand up with jokes and stuff. I would do characters. But I went to Largo in Los Angeles. I moved there, and Marc was actually at one of the first shows I ever went to there. And really? I just wanted to be part of it. But I didn't really know how to do the same kind of jokes, so I just would make up a character and just go up like that. So if there were no laughs, it worked perfectly well because it wasn't me. And there usually weren't, It was just like
The first time I saw you and realized you were a person, like doing things, like I didn't really know you, but I think the first time I saw you, you were doing that Saddam Hussein with the guitar bit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You were singing as Saddam Hussein for a while.
Yeah, because remember when they caught Saddam Hussein and he lost weight and then he was on trial in Iraq? He looked great. He had like a black suit and a beard, and all the he looked so much like a musician, like an aging rocker, because the photos of him were like, he looked like Joe Strummer or something. Yeah. So I just thought like that's the person he was. He'd have a guitar and he'd just sing for people. Yeah. And not want to discuss politics.
So did that make it possible for you to be not fearful going up there?
Yes, because I had nothing to lose. I went in thinking no one's really going to laugh at it. So, which they didn't. I did some shows opening for Jeff Tweedy and Wilco. And this is before I was on SNL, and I remember the audiences, it was not just that they were upset; they were confused as to why I was on stage at all.